We're back. I told you we would do this. Today is the day we start figuring out exactly what market, what clients, what product, what service, all that stuff that you're going to be able to create into a new business, new income stream, whatever. So that's Chris Williams again. I'm out at the park today. It's an amazing day. This is actually going to be broken into, I think, 3, maybe 4 actual daily lessons. And I'm going to sit right here and knock them all out. There's so much content to cover here. And this is super, super important. I've started so many businesses and built so many income streams. Some of the ones I've started have completely failed. And this is one of the 3 major reasons that they failed. There's probably 3 super, super important things, apart from all the tactical details that you have to figure out, marketing, websites, all that kind of stuff. But this right here is one of those foundational blocks that if you don't get it right, you'll burn out, your market won't respond to you, and it just won't happen. You won't be able to figure it out. So this one, and if I break this up the right way, I'll take you through the process, and it'll take 2 or 3 sessions. You can watch them all back to back and binge watch this thing, or you can just stretch it out day by day if you've been doing that, whatever works for you. So let's jump in. It's super duper windy out here. I hope the audio is okay. I'll just run off my AirPods for a second, but man, it's a great day. It's like 70 degrees today. It's springtime. Just like. All right. So first, we're going to go through a document, and I'll show you that in a second. But we're going to talk about your passion. That's one section. Your skills and abilities, what you already know how to do, what you're already doing, whatever you've already got kind of stacked and ready to go that you can present to someone else and do right now. And then the market, a market that you could go after, and how to really think that through. So there's your passion, and I'm not talking Disney movie passion here. I love Disney movies and watch them all the time with my kids, but it doesn't always work out as a perfect ending. That's not real life, but there are real ways to figure out what's your passion and how do you really hang on to that. So we're going to talk through all that. We're going to talk through skills and abilities. What can you do? What do you know how to do? What do you need to learn how to do? How do you build that set of skills and abilities? And then we're going to go in deep dive, really deep on the market and what are the market's felt needs and wants. And that's so important, not to find out what you just think your market wants, but to really understand what does your market feel they need. And you may actually find out, and we get into this, that what they feel they need and what they actually need are 2 completely different things. And that's okay. We'll work through how to deal with that. So much in here. So we'll be working on the same document for the entire process. Let's go ahead and start with step number 1, your passion. So here is the document. And again, if you want any of this stuff to use on your own and don't have to build on your own, I don't mind sending you these at all. They're just Google Docs. This is a Google Doc. I'll pop it to you. I'll send you a clean, fresh copy, so it's not got all my notes in here. But if you're listening on podcast or audio, you can jump over to my email, which is chris.williams@scenthold.com, CHRIS.WILLIAMS at Scenthold. It's spelled SENTHOLD.com. Shoot me an email and I'll send you whatever notes you need. Also, if you're listening on audio, we're doing this on YouTube at Chris Williams HQ. That you can watch the video, because actually watching it really makes a lot of sense. Okie doke. So first up, your passion. Let's deal with that in this session right here, and then we will stop and we will come back and do your skill and ability, and then we'll stop and we'll come back and do your market's felt wants and needs. All right, your passion. Now look at these grids up here at the top. At the top of the page, if you're listening in, we have 3 sets of grids. They look like waffles. One of them has 4 squares. That's on the far left, upper left. The next one, right in the middle of the page, looks like 4 going sideways and 4 going up and down. So that'd be 16 squares. It's kind of a same basic shape of a square, but it's got 16 divided subsquares, like a waffle with 16 squares. And then the next one has even more squares. I think it's 8 by 8. What is that, 96? I'll let y'all do the math, but it's a same-sized waffle square, but all the little tiny squares inside the waffle are smaller. These are filters. They're grids. So picture you're dumping rocks or sand or Legos. I don't care what you want to dump through this filter, but you're going to dump things through filter number 1, your passion. And it's got 4 big squares, all right? So a lot of things are going to filter through that. But we're going to narrow that down. We're going to find out one section that we really want to filter, and we want to nail everything in through one of those squares that things filter through. I'll explain that in a second. And the next one, your skills and abilities, those smaller squares, kind of medium size, things are going to start filtering out some more junk. Some of the bigger pieces are going to get pushed out, and we're going to get more and more refined and figuring out more and more what we should target and what your product or service should be as we get from your passions then down to what skills and abilities line up with those passions. And then we're going to filter that down even tinier. And we're going to take it to a smaller filter, and it's going to really narrow down your focus on what you should be presenting or selling. You can tell I'm excited about this. I just love this part of the process. So many of our clients, we do a lot with our clients through this process as well. And so many of our clients just they struggle with this, and particularly we take them on as new clients. But once you get this nailed down, man, the leads, the prospects, the clients start coming in rapidly for them. By the way, most of what we do is working with surgery groups. I've done probably a dozen different service businesses and product businesses over the years. Right now, my company, ScentHold, primarily works with surgery groups, bringing them the right kind of surgery patients. That's a long story short. It's not what concerns you, but that's what I'm using this for actually right now. But we've done this in so many different areas, and I change businesses frequently. I love changing things up. So I'm using this process typically once every 12 to 18 months. I'll start something new, and we'll start a business, spin it off, and I always go through this process. If it's a product or a service in any industry, this one always plays true for me. Okay, so let's start with your passion. So look at this grid up here. You've got different passions in life. Okay, I don't know what your passions are. You do. And this is really important to focus on this. This is what are you really interested in? Now you may say, I'm one of the lucky ones. I love what I do. That happens to be me. I love creating income streams and shrinking down, and I love getting those income streams down into a really manageable amount of time. So I work a little bit less than an hour a day producing all the income we produce. And we have tons of free time and tons of money to live a great life. That's what I'm super passionate about. That's why I'm teaching this. That's why we're getting it for free, because I'd prefer to sit here at the park and do this. I think this is really, really fun. People ask me about it. I'm passionate about that, right? I'm also passionate about building marketing systems for service companies. I freaking love doing that. That's why our team is so good at that for the surgeons that we work for right now, and for some of the many of the service companies we worked for over the past decade. And it's because we love doing that. It's a passion, right? So it comes out, and when the days get hard, we're sticking with it because we like it. So what is your passion? So mine happens to be I love marketing. Okay. I also love service industries. I love serving people. I think I selling products is fun, but I love it when I get to see someone smile or see someone's life change or see someone go through some major transformation that really impacts their community, their loved ones, their quality of life. Love that stuff. So honestly, attracting surgery patients to surgeons is really fulfilling to me. And our several people on our team feel the same way. I think it's really cool. Doing this right here, if you experience the life change that I experienced going through this process and learning all this over the years, I would be thrilled. It'd be super exciting to me. So I love service projects. You may say, I'm just going to pick another one out. You may say, I'll just keep going with me. You put your own answers in here. I happen to love dogs. We have had several dogs. My current dog is named Blue, and he's so stinking fun. I love training him, love running with him, love going to the park with him. Just love dogs. They're super great. Some people love cats. I'm a dog person, right? So I also love paddleboarding, and I love traveling. Love traveling. Jill and I have 5 kids. I've mentioned that before. We travel a ton. We have another big trip coming up here for a month in Europe this summer, and I am so excited about that. Anytime we get to get out and see a new place, experience a new culture, the food, the language, the way people do everything different, I just love that. What are your passions? So I'm listing off my passions. You hear them coming out, right? I'm not talking about, for instance, um, horticulture. Yeah, it's just not my thing. Horticulture may be your thing, but I just don't get excited. I have some friends who do horticulture, and it's fun to see what they do, but it's not my thing, right? I sitting at this lake out here. There's a couple of bald eagles that have been flying around, and that's super cool. But I'm not an ornithologist. I don't like watching birds that much, but I do love seeing something cool every now and then. But if ornithology or bird watching is your thing, put it down. It doesn't have to be money making. Doesn't have to be life changing. It's what's your passion. Okay. I also love fitness. All right. Love running, love working out, love eating healthy. I'd say it's a passion of mine. Is it enough of a passion where I'd want to do that as an income stream? Probably not, but don't judge it. put it down here, okay? So take the same sheet, again, reach out and email. I'll send you one or create one on your own real quick and just start listing out your passions. As you do that, things will come up and don't judge them. You may think, well, it's so Chris, you love dogs, but you can't make money in dogs. Actually, you can make tons of money in doing all kind of dog training, online classes for dog training, dog breeding, live dog training classes in your local area, selling dog products. And you know how many pet products are out there, people making fortunes in the dog industry, okay? So it doesn't matter. There's people out there like you that have the same passion. So again, be sure you don't line up anybody else's passion on this page. This is not, well, I think the market I'd like to go into or the customers I'd like, they're really passionate about NASCAR racing. If that's true, good for them. But are you passionate about NASCAR racing? If you are, please put it on the list. But if you're not, don't put it on the list, okay? We'll get to your market later. But first, it's about you. What are you passionate about? So jot these down, and then also send a quick text or an email out to your friends, family, people you trust, and ask them questions like, what do you think I'm most passionate about? When we have conversations, what themes do you hear me repeating over and over and over? And they may say, you hate your job. Well, great. That's what you talk about a lot. Then there you go. Maybe you need to go for a change, and that's probably why you're here. But whatever it is that you have themes come up and that you're talking about constantly, those are things you should probably pay attention to. Okay, particularly the things that you want to do, love doing, love reading about. Look back at your internet search history. Great place to do this, and see what you're passionate about. See what products you're constantly looking at, see what places you're thinking of traveling. If you're a book reader, look through the genres you're going for. You're going to see trends in your own life. Look at your bank statement and your credit card statement as well. Very telling places that you'll see you're passionate about. Now, sure, there's a lot of just groceries on a credit card statement and gas for the car. That's fine. But look for the things that you're just, spilling away a little bit to cash, credit, whatever you're doing here and there. Every time you get a little chance, you're just going and doing a little more of that, spending a little more, taking a little trip, buying a little more fishing gear, getting more into yoga. Whatever your thing is, you're going to see that showing up. Look back at your calendar also. So I've mentioned your search history on internet. Text or email your friends and ask them what you talk about most. And look back at your financial statements, checkbook, and credit card statements. And then look at your calendar. Take a look and see where you go, what you do, who are you meeting with, who are you plugging in to meet coffee, for lunch. What events do you go to in your local area? Are you joining a club? Are you part of a camera club? Again, so many ideas here. I'm just trying to give you triggers and help you think through not just emotionally right now what you're passionate about, but if you look back over time and you say, hey, I've been passionate about this for quite a long time. It keeps coming up. I keep doing this. That's what you want to lock in on. If it's been a lasting passion of yours, it'll probably still be there in 6 months or a year or two. And that's important. All right. I struggle with that because I love change. So, for instance, I love travel, but I don't love one particular area of the world. So I'm not passionate about Latin America, even though we traveled extensively in Latin America. I'm not passionate about Europe, even though we're traveling extensively in Europe. I'm not passionate about Africa, even though I've traveled. I'm passionate all over the U.S. We've been everywhere, but I'm passionate about travel, not one certain spot. So hone in on that. Find out. Hey, I love physical fitness, but I don't like to swim. My wife is a competitive swimmer. She's amazing. She swims 2 or 3 miles every morning. That's incredible. I love to run. So I'm passionate about physical fitness, and a sub passion of physical fitness for me is running. I love pull-ups and push-ups and sit-ups a lot more than I like the weight room. All right. So I've got niches and genres of physical fitness and travel that I'm passionate about, and that's an important distinction to make. Okay. So write these down. So if I put fitness here, I would actually want to go ahead and let's show you how to do this. I'm just going to drop a line down here, put a little dash, hit space, and it pops right over for you. So I would say running and push-ups, etc. And traveling, I would say for me, and again, you do the same thing on your sheet. New New locations, always a new location. I really don't want to go back to a place I've been before. Never interests me. Once I've seen it, done it, experienced the culture there, I the world's a big place, right? Um, New locations, new culture. That's me. Um, Dogs or paddleboarding, there's lots of different kinds of paddleboarding. I love whitewater paddleboarding and lake paddleboarding and ocean paddleboarding. They're all really fun to me. So paddleboarding is a very general thing for me. I don't have a niche that I'm just super focused on there. Marketing, um, I won't get into all that. You get the idea. I'm trying to move on for you. So take this and do this. Now, one other tool I've used here, and you're welcome again, shoot an email and I'll copy and paste this thing and send it back to you in an email. I have a formatted email that asks about my passions, and I copy and paste it in a text message. I have a text message and email version, and I copy and paste. It's the same thing. It's got a list of about 5 questions, and it just asks the person to, hey, just take 5 minutes. First thing that comes to your mind, and shoot me back a message. If you want that copy paste thing, again, no worries, you can have it. The deal is be sure and ask people, because sometimes what you see inside you and what other people see inside you are different, and you might not be remembering something that you're really consistently focused on, and that's important to catch. All right. So what we're going to do as we identify this, you're going to find out that one of these quadrants, one of these squares, you're going to nail down your passion. Let me show you how this is going to start looking. So let's just go from yellow to orange to red. We're trying to find the hot target. So as you nail this down, we're going to basically narrow down what are you passionate about. And you're going to find out you're passionate about stuff in this quadrant of life. Some people are passionate about NASCAR. I'm not. I'm passionate about marketing, and I'm passionate about fitness and traveling and service industries. Okay, that's me, right? So this is my little world up here, all right? Well, that they're going to overlay these filters. So if the big filter, like in a pool filter or a filter for a city fountain or something, like you've ever looked in a filter, but your vacuum filter is a good example of this. There's always one screen that catches the big stuff. That's what we just did, the passions. And then it filters down through. And the next screen with slightly smaller holes catches a little more stuff. That air gets more and more purified, or water gets more and more purified. And then the next section down catches even more. And the water or air, whatever's going through the filter, gets even more purified. So we're going to purify this thing down. So we know right now that, hey, these are my passions, okay? Next time we talk, that same set of passions overlays, and it overlays on the market, and it overlays on our skills and abilities. And we're going to go into exactly how to nail that down. So now we know we have passions. Our skills and abilities, we probably have a lot of information and skills and abilities in those passions, probably more than most. You'll find out. I'll show you. And we're going to find out that there's a lot of market out there that's also interested in that same setup. So we're just narrowing down, down, down. Okay? This will make more sense in our next lesson, our next training, which I'm going to sit right here and jump right back on. So if you have to wait a day because we're putting these out one a day, so sorry. If you're coming in a little late and you're catching up, lucky you, jump right to it. But do this list. Do not go to the next lesson. I say this so much, but please do not go to the next lesson until you do this. I promise if you do this the right way, it'll save you a lot of heartache and a lot of money and a lot of frustration when we start launching your new business or your new income stream. And it'll save you an enormous amount of time, because I don't want you spending 8 hours or 10 hours a day launching this thing. I want you spending a very small amount of time every day that you can do this in, that really fits in your lifestyle and frees you up to do what you want to do. It's not just about extra money, it's about extra time too, right? Okay, talk to you soon. Again, if you have any questions or emails or whatever, chris.williams@senthold.com, chris.williams@senthold.com. That's it. See you in just a minute.